Okay, well, here I am with the Beatles Sgt. Pepper's album, and I just thought I should point out some of the controversial Paul is dead clues. I know the whole thing's been dead for like the last 20 years, but still, I thought I'd just dredge it back up and make a little YouTube video. Okay, so, first of all, we have the Beatles standing in front of what appears to be a grave marked with a left-handed bass guitar with 3 sticks lying across it to represent the 3 Beatles. And if you didn't know, I'm sure everybody knows that Paul McCartney played a left-handed guitar because he was left-handed. And then we have the 4 wax Beatles, the Madame Tussauds wax Beatles, looking down as if in mourning upon the grave. Then we have the 4 Beatles standing in a row, and John, Ringo, and George are all standing at an angle to the camera, but Paul is standing facing exactly the camera, and if you look around his head, he appears to be a cardboard cutout, and that the others are supporting him. Also, I'm not sure if you can see, John has a brass instrument, as does Ringo, and as does George right here. But Paul is carrying a black clarinet. Then, if you can see above Paul's head, there's a hand. In some cultures, a hand above the head symbolizes death. And now this one, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it or not, because it's kind of hard to show. I do this at home because it looks pretty freaky. If you can see in that CD, that's Lonely Hearts Club Band. If you take a CD and you run along the middle of it, it says, "One, he died." Do you see that? It's really hard to show. And if you notice, look between the words "he" and "die," you see there's a bit of an arrow, and it points directly up, and who is above that arrow? Paul McCartney. Okay. But seriously, if you do have the album, try the CD thing out at home, because it looks a lot better than it does here. Okay, so onto the gatefold. We got Ringo, we got John, we got George, and we got Paul. Now, there's not really much here, but if you look on Paul's shoulder, you'll see the words OPD stitched into his shoulder pad. OPD in England, in America, and in Canada too, they call it DOA, dead on arrival, but in the UK they call it officially pronounced dead. Now, okay, I know a lot of people are probably going to say this, or not, that this was kind of disproved later on, that the jacket was actually given to Paul when he went to his visit to Canada, and it says OPP, which is Ontario Police. Something starts with a P. I can't remember that now. But it doesn't say OPD, apparently. But it was photographed to say OPD. And finally, on the back cover, most famous, obviously, you have the 4 Beatles and Paul standing to the back of the crowd. Here's another thing I want to point out. Okay, look at Paul in the back, and he is taller than all the other Beatles. Now, it's known that all the Beatles are the same height, except for Ringo, who's shorter. When you look on the front, they're all basically the same height. When you look on the back, Paul is significantly taller. And if you look, oh, you can't see it with this camera. Okay, well, if you look at the front here, the song Within You, Without You is coming out of the side of Paul's head. And George's finger points to the lyrics of She's Leaving Home Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock, which was apparently the time that Paul McCartney got into the car crash that killed him. Here's another thing that you probably will be able to see, and I hate this camera. Okay, George is making a little L with his thumb and forefinger. John has his hands tucked in his pants, and his fingers make a V. And Ringo's fingers, knitted together, make an E. And the space where Paul is supposed to be the O. Love. Okay, so that's why for the Sgt. Pepper's album, and if I can find some other albums, I'll do a little one on those ones, but that's a little taste of the Paul is Dead clue, so you figure it out for yourself.